With more bosses being included in the upper floors and their immunity to freeze, the usage of Morgana has decreased over the last couple of patches. Some variations of Morgana can output more damage, which keeps the comp alive, and every now and then you will see a patch that makes Morgana viable, especially on floor 11. So Morgana is still viable, just not as top tier as it once was. Hello YouTube, today I'll be discussing the OG meta freeze comp known as Morgana. And if you like what you see, I would appreciate it if you would hit that like button to show your support and to help with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Let's begin. For those of you that don't know, Sparlabyss used to be omega easy when compared to what we deal with today. The thought of bosses on the upper floors of Abyss was not something one would think about, which made perfect food for Morgana team, and it dominated. For those of you that don't know, the nickname Morgana comes from combining parts of the team's names together, plus Venti, as well as referencing the League of Legends character with the same name due to her ability to stun everyone. Freezing everything in your path and rendering your opponents immobile makes this team really easy to use. Ganyu mainly uses her burst as part of the rotation, so if you don't have good aim, you don't have much to worry about, but you will still need to use charge shots to get the most DPS overall. She is your main damage dealer in this team. Her signature weapon, Almost Bow, is not her best in slot. Skyward Harp is better. I also still don't have Almost Bow. Blizzard Strayer is her best artifact set for this team, but I have lived with Wanderers on her for a while to great effect as well. Do what you can. Mona takes a supporting role and helps freeze things with her Hydro application. As a Catalyst user, slapping TTDS on her is the way to go. Make sure you switch into Ganyu after Mona to apply TTDS effects on Ganyu. If you are doing a Morgana team without a dedicated healer, you may want to put Prototype Amber on Mona instead. I run 2-piece for some extra hydro damage and burst damage. 4-piece Noblesse works if you don't have anyone else with it. Diona is your comfort shield healer. Standard stuff. Noblesse to buff the team even more. Her utility is less valuable here, as in theory you may not need that much heals or shield support as everything should be freezing. That being said, no one is perfect, and this helps prevent mistakes from ruining your runs completely, but feel free to replace her with more DPS. Venti is your crowd control Archon and VV Shredder, and is the other essential part of this team. Grouping enemies to a single location really helps Ganyu. Not only does this make aiming Ganyu's charge shot easier, but it also has incredible synergy with her burst, as Ganyu's burst does AoE damage. It tries to compensate by not targeting the same enemy from the last 4 icicles, but that doesn't matter when they are all grouped up. Seriously OP stuff. For rotation, do as follows. Start off with Ganyu's burst, close to at least one opponent, and then use her elemental skill to create some distance. I prefer to use her burst first, as the distance made with her E helps with Venti, as Venti's burst is known to activate in the wrong spot or wrong enemy, significantly reducing your DPS and potentially crowd control as well. Switch over to Venti to do his EQ and Shred Cryo. Follow that up with Diona's EQ, and then finally EQ on Mona. Next, switch back to Ganyu with all the support buffs from the team and do 2 to 3 charged attacks. Feel free to use her elemental skill before her charge attacks if you need the energy particles to recharge her burst. But usually 2 to 3 charge attacks would get her burst up just fine. And it's just as simple as that. You don't have to worry about too much. With the 4 team members in question, you have a really comfy team that lets you worry about nothing but the time on Abyss decreasing. But what are your thoughts? Is this team no longer viable in your eyes? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you like playing with freeze comps but aren't too fond of Ganyu and Mona, check out this freeze comp that utilizes Rosaria and Yelan instead. But with that being said, it is time to end this video. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, adieu and goodbye. Peace.